Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If I sound a little annoyed throughout this, it's probably because I started going off track in my last recording a lot, and I didn't want to post it like that. And I was already like 7 minutes in before I was like, I should probably restart. So yeah. Also, credits to Sasuchi95. Her drawing will be in the description because that's what I referenced off of. So, hello guys. Today I'm going to be talking about how to make your character backstories more memorable and less, I guess, cliched. So, if I kind of start rambling on about whatever, I'll probably wind up getting back to the main point. But no, this is all going to be relevant to character backstories and character arcs and story arcs and things like that. This video is all story based. So, last week on my video poll, when I asked what you wanted to see for my next video, you guys asked for how to create great character backstories. And the only reason I say great is because I have a lot of experience in writing. I love to write. I love creating stories and characters. So that's the only reason I say great. I don't really have an ego about my writing or anything, but my teachers and such really like my writing and the way I am able to express myself in my writing. So, yeah. So, to start, let's start small with cliches. How cliches can make your character more forgettable. Let's say like Alpha Senpai or Yandere Queen or Yes Queen. Okay, I'll stop. So how can these cliches make your character more forgettable? Well, not only in the gacha community, but in other communities too, like Undertale, My Hero Academia, things like that. There's even yanderes in those fandoms. Not saying like everyone does it in those fandoms, but it's where I see it the most. No offense to anyone in those fandoms. So, how can this make your character more forgettable? Well, first off, these cliches can be very cringy if you don't express them correctly. Like, I see a lot of gacha tubers who are like, Luna Wolf Alpha Senpai Yandere will kill you if you take her senpai, and it's just honestly really cringy. And a lot of people put them in cringe compilations and stuff, which is why I see them. And I've been watching a lot of cringe compilations lately, and enough to know that you do not have to make your character a yandere or just honestly insane in order to make it interesting. Your character could be super simple and nice and still be really interesting. Because, I mean, as long as you get good at storytelling, you can make any character interesting. Even a side character that isn't even related to the story at all, you can make them interesting. And that's what I'm gonna kind of, I guess, guide you guys on how to do today. So, these can make your character more forgettable, but it's not necessarily something to where, like, your character has to be completely original, because we always bounce ideas off of each other. Nothing is completely original, just like drawing or any form of art. That could be writing, sculpting, anything else. Everything you see in that form of art, you will always incorporate that into your story or whatever somehow. It's crazy how you could see something and not even know you got inspired and wind up doing it anyway. Like the way I draw my chibis, it's inspired off of Nekarina. If you don't know who she is, you should look her up. She's like an amazing artist. She's here on YouTube actually. The Daikon legs. I didn't even realize I bounced that kind of idea off of her. But I did, and now it's incorporated into my chibi style, and kind of in my normal style. So yeah, we always bounce ideas off of each other, that's the point. And that's the reason cliches are always, you see them everywhere, because we bounce ideas off of each other, and usually that's what makes it hard to get original, And it seems like, oh, everyone's done all kinds of stories. They've done LGBT stories, they've done yandere, alpha, love story, slice of life. Well, you can always incorporate your own original ideas somehow. Like, I'm going to be creating a Gotcha Life mini movie soon based off of an idea. I was actually going to make it around a month ago. But I never got around to it because earlier in the year is when I get busiest with art and things like that. Beginning of the year and end of the year. So that's when I'm busiest. So around summer and when school starts is when I get the least busy. So I'll be making that. I won't be telling you guys the idea just yet, but I'm just gonna let you know that I had the help of Ayaka and a couple of my other friends actually. I bounced ideas off of them, and now I'm gonna be making a Gotcha Life mini movie off of that, and that's perfectly fine. Always ask your friends and stuff for help, because having your viewers or your friends or someone who's gonna be watching giving you an idea on what to do, it can get you more viewers. It's crazy. Like, the reason I do polls and stuff is because I want to see what you guys are gonna watch. I'm not just gonna make a video and be like, here, watch it. Because if it's not interesting to you guys aren't gonna watch it. That's just how it goes. And that's why YouTubers, if they have a series of something and people aren't watching it, they're gonna stop the series because nobody wants to watch it. Nobody wants to watch it. Excuse my English. So, same goes with creating stories. If you don't get feedback from your audience or the people who are going to be reading, watching your Gotcha Life mini movie or things like that, if you don't ask them for advice on what you should do, then there's really no guarantee that people are going to watch it. Because you're going solely based off what you like, what you want in character designs, what you think looks good, and things like that. And these are just your personal opinions. You're not really gathering the opinions of other people or anything like that. And same thing goes with characters. If you need to go to someone and be like, hey, does this character idea sound good or is it cringy? And if they say cringy and they give you feedback on what you could do, don't say it's like a writer's thing or something like that, because if something's cringy, it's cringy. And same goes with drawing. Like I said before, I love using that analogy, like comparing art with things. Like if something's wrong with your anatomy, anatomy is anatomy. You can alter it however you want, but there is a right and wrong way to draw a hand. No matter how you do it. So people say it looks wrong, and that's okay, because if you alter it and you create a great character, it feels so much more rewarding in the end. So how to make cliches cliched while still making them memorable to your viewer? Well, this can be difficult depending on the kind of cliche you're going for. Yandere can be quite easy as long as you have a little bit of help. Alpha, I wouldn't say, because it honestly depends on the kind of story you're going for. Like, if you're going for a really edgy story and things like that, I'm sure you could find a way to incorporate that. If you're going for a sweet story, I'm sure you could find a way to incorporate that. But it all depends on the theme of your story. You can have an edgy character in a cute slice of life, but it's not gonna match in with the rest of the characters. And it just doesn't work. You know, edgy characters and cute characters just don't go well together. They don't. And I mean, you can put them together, but I can't really guarantee that you're gonna get a good outcome, you know? So this is just my viewpoint on it. This is just my experience. I've made lots of Gotcha Life music videos. I've made lots of Gotcha Life mini movies, not even like posts on YouTube, just for personal use. I've been making them since I was around maybe 8, because that's when the Gotcha Life not Gacha Life, Gacha Studio Beta came out, and I thought it was so cool to dress up these characters and stuff. And so I made a lot of things. Like, I even made hated child stories and, like, the after stories for that. Like, what would their life be like afterwards, you know? But I also had to think, I was like, how does this make sense, you know? Because if an evil stepmom, if an evil mom gives birth to a child and the child isn't actually theirs, like, how, it doesn't make sense, okay? It doesn't. And it's where you have to think. You have to be like, okay, you can't always use gotcha logic, or just any kind of story logic in general, because it just doesn't make sense. Like slice of life, you most definitely have to have it make sense, or else it's not going to be a slice of life, because the characters won't be relatable, the story won't be relatable, because you can't relate to real life. That's what slice of life is. If it's like a fantasy story, of course it's not supposed to be relatable, because you can't find that stuff in real life. So, how to make cliches cliched while still making them memorable to your viewer. With Yandere, here's an example. You could have them have some kind of mental disorder that nobody really knows about, and people think, well, this character is just very crazy, and I should stay away from her. Plot twist, this character actually has a mental disability and needs serious help. There. That's a plot twist you could definitely use. Feel free to bounce these ideas off of me, just don't completely copy them, please. Not like I'm planning on using these are just examples. So, I didn't write down any other notes, but I do have stuff in mind I still want to talk about. Character design. Character design is a big one, because character design tells what your character is going to be like, you know? If you have a character wearing a bunch of black and things like that, you're going to think, oh, super edgy. Okay. If you have a character wearing lots of pinks and pastels, you're going to think, oh, this character is really bubbly. And, yeah, that's why a lot of people who do these kinds of videos are like, do not make an edgy character wear all black, because it makes his character so, predictable, you know? And you don't want that. You don't want your characters to be predictable unless there's going to be a plot twist, you know? Like, if you have this nice, really bubbly character that everyone starts to trust, and then there's a really big plot twist, yes, please, feel free to go that route. But I highly wouldn't suggest making your characters predictable. It's not a good idea at all. So, yeah. Don't make your characters predictable, especially with the way they dress. If you want to make an edgy character, make an edgy character. Just make sure to, put them in a normal outfit, because their eyes won't be pitch black, and they won't be crying blood and wearing all black, because that's not how it's like in real life, especially with depressed characters. And with depressed people in real life, they might wear black sometimes, but it's not like they just wear black. If you have a gothic character, that works too. That's completely fine. Because people who are into the goth aesthetic, personally I like the goth aesthetic, but I prefer the pastel aesthetic. Please ignore the speed paint doing what it's doing. I don't know why it's doing what it's doing, but it's doing it. So, it's Windows Movie Maker is weird. Premiere Pro won't take the video, so just keep that in mind. It'll probably start to work here in a second. So, make your character design not predictable. No, just don't. It's not good, not good. For example, let's take my friend Liliana's OC Magica. I mean, you couldn't really, at first, I didn't predict her to be a bad guy in her story. I actually thought she was a good guy at first, because, she just looked so bubbly and stuff, and when I read her backstory, it was honestly depressing, but at the same time, her character isn't predictable, not by a long shot. None of her characters are super predictable. It also kind of depends on what expression she gave them, but at the same time, I'm taking Magica as an example just because I thought, oh, this character's probably a good guy because of how bubbly they look. And boy, was I wrong. So, yeah. It's always good to have your viewers be like, whoa, this character really isn't a good guy after all. Or, whoa, this character really isn't that bad. So, keep that in mind, especially with character design. You can make your characters however you want. Again, this is just some advice. I know this was probably really short and I probably didn't give too much helpful advice, but I did my best. I'm not really good at giving advice, but I did my best, like I said. I hope you enjoyed the speed paint. If you came for the speed paint, great. If you came for the character design thing, great. I hope you guys found this somewhat helpful. I hope you guys found this helpful somehow, some way. Because, I mean, I spent a while watching mini movies and cringe videos, cringe compilations, just for Gacha Life though. Just to see like what people could possibly work on, you know. So this was an interesting thing. If you guys want more like advice videos and stuff, please leave a like and leave suggestions down below on what advice thing you would want to see next, because I enjoyed making this video, especially doing the voiceover, because it allows me to speak my mind and speak about what character traits would be good on certain characters, what character traits would be cringe on certain characters and things like that. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I really hope you guys like the drawing because it's for my portfolio. Make sure to like and subscribe for free cake if you haven't already. Turn on notifications to see when I post, upload, everything else like that. I will talk to you guys later.